Up tonight doing a paranormal no-no. That's going off on my own. Just come over to what we call a Mullock heap. It's a Mullock heap. This area here is Vic Park, and in this area at one point they did a lot of mining. Now, I don't know if this lighting is going to show too much up, but as we go up the Mullock heap, which is the plan, I'm going to have a bit of a walk up the Mullock heap. This whole area here back in the 1800s was mined. They put a couple of mine shafts in, see what was around. They got a little bit of gold out of it. Also, you find that we found that this area here is a little bit of a steep hill here. You see how grippy my boots are. This whole area here in the 1900s was used for a army camp. This is in Ballarat. There we are, right on top now. There we go. Okay, so got a little mic so I can walk around with this EVP meter. I'm just going to invite spirit, or I should say people in, because people are spirit too. Just going to invite any of the local people here. I come with respect. If you'd like to come out, come for a walk up the top of this Mullock hill. If you're silly enough to walk up here like I am. Yeah, come along and see if you can influence some of these little gadgets here. I've got a couple of little light sensor pods. If you walk in front of this one here, it'll set off. Same with the one on the other side. We've got a cat ball here that you can manipulate, just to show you here. Also got an EVP meter. Oh, we've got a little bit of, well, it's probably a little bit of interference from me. Not too sure. It's a little bit of, I think my mic was coming a little bit close to that one. EVP meters, the K2 meters are very sensitive, so you've got to watch with your equipment. I've got a little mic on my neck at the moment, and as I'm walking closer to it, the readings from the mic actually set it off. So it's showing you that anything with EMF energy will set off that K2. So once again, if there's spirit around, there's people around that would like to come and have a chat to us, I come with a lot of respect for you guys. I know you were here a long time ago, back in the 1800s, some of you. Others of you were here during the army years in Vic Park. We had a massive tent city here. I hear there was at one point almost 8,000 people used Vic Park from the army to camp out in. Now we know a lot of miners come out here too, because this is a huge Mullock heap that I'm standing on at the moment. And I know you guys worked hard for your money, worked hard to try and get some gold. And I've just popped up here today. We've had some interactions with you in the past, and I am out here on my own, and which is not a real wise thing to do, because it's not a very safe thing going off paranormaling, going out into the countryside on your own, especially in the dark. But because I live 5 minutes away and I've been in this area quite a lot and walked up this hill quite a lot, I know the terrain pretty well, so I feel pretty safe just doing this on my own. So I'm just asking if there's any people here that would like to come and communicate with us. Have a go at setting off the K2 meter, the cat balls, or the movement light sensors. I'm going to try and do some electronic voice transmissions. So what I'll do is I'll turn it on now. Recording. So if any person would like to come up here and put your hand on the voice, I'm going to have a bit of a walk around this area. And if you'd like to come and tell us first off what's your name. And as you can see, those light sensor pods turned on because I walked in front of them. So that shows you any sort of movement that happens in front of them. But I've got this voice recorder with me now, and if you'd like to tell us your name, we'd like to find out a little bit about you. We come with respect. We know you've worked hard here, tried to make a living here. Can I ask how long you've been here for? How long were you working here? I've got a gentleman I can actually see to the back of the camera just watching. I'm going to ask this gentleman to come and step forward. He looks like he's one of the old miners. He's sort of dressed in the old period sort of mining clothes. Sort of walking a little bit this way, but I don't know if he'll come up this way. He's probably around about 20 yards away from me. I'm still up the top of the Mullock heap. And I'll just ask him to step forward and put your voice on this voice meter for us and see what you can tell us about yourself. Can I ask, were you a miner? If there's anyone else here that would like to just hearing some odd noises. I'm just trying to work out. I know there's a little bit of creaking of the trees because there's a little bit of wind. And there was a little bit of bird sound earlier, even in the dark, but it was just something else. It sounded like knocking. It sounded like somebody was knocking something in, but I guarantee you this hour of the night there'll be nobody in the park. So if there's any person here at all who would like to put your voice on this recorder, feel free to do so. I'm going to turn the recorder off for a sec and I'll move down to the bottom of the hill for a little bit. Okay, so we're at the bottom of the hill now, and I've got a proximity pod, which hopefully you'll be able to see. We'll light that up. We have a K2 meter, which sort of sitting in the middle. Got a couple of cat balls there as well. They're quite good. Let's see if we get any interactions. There's a cat ball here. And that's something in my pocket that's going off, which I didn't turn on. Let's have a look what's happening. Put it on stop. If there's any people around, I'd like to have a bit of a chat to you, find out who you are. You can set off the K2, the REM pod, the proximity lights, the cap balls, anything of your choosing. Have a bit of a play with them, see how you go. And I'm just going to do a quick EVP. A bit of a car coming past, so you'll probably hear that sound. So, little EVP, we're recording. If I pop that down on a rock a little bit, and we'll just ask if there's any people around that would like to come and talk to us. Can we ask what your name is? Can we ask, were you one of the miners that worked here? Were you one of the army personnel that we stationed here? I heard there was quite a large camp here. So if there's anyone here that would like to set off any of these little gadgets, we'd appreciate it. We come with a lot of respect for you. If there's anything you'd like to say, you're quite welcome to put your voice on this little recorder. Seems pretty quiet here. On a couple of other occasions we've picked up on some of the old miners that were here. The area itself has got quite a bit of history. I've noticed too that just recently they've taken a lot of trees off this Mullock heap. There used to be a lot of scrub, a lot of trees. They've cleared it right out. I'm just wondering if the local spirit here appreciate the clearing out, or if they liked it just the way that it was. Now I've just spotted something dashing, a dark shadow dashing between a couple of trees, but it was a very low thing, so I don't know if it was an animal that was just running across the ground, or if it was something of a spiritual origin. There was a fella up on top of the Mullock heap when I was up the top there. I kind of felt, but he didn't come forward. It's very, very quiet out here. Nice little place to pitch a tent one night, but unfortunately, because it is parkland, you can't do that. So I'll turn off the recorder. I'll pick up a lot of my babbling, but that's okay. So is anybody here that would like to react with the K2 meter? Seems very, very quiet tonight. A little bit of wind in the air, so you might hear a few different sounds, and I'm just discounting what I'm hearing because it is a little bit too much wind, and you don't know, you know, you've got a lot of tree knocking type of sounds and branches creaking and sort of birds making a little bit of a racket in the trees. So I'm discounting any sounds that I'm actually hearing tonight because of the wind. Okay, well I'm going to pack this away now, and I'd just like to thank any spirit for accepting me here, because I feel quite welcome even though there wasn't much to be seen or felt. Perhaps you're sort of sitting in the background because I do feel something, feel energy in the background. Now, I don't know if it's because they've cleared out this whole area and taken away a lot of trees or anything, but the energy seems very different. And yeah, I'm just not too sure about it. We'll come back during the day and we'll suss things out.